What's up, Trill Gang? It's your girl Trvllofficial, and I'm back with another video. Today I have something special for you guys. I'm gonna be giving myself a taper. You're gonna see me stepping in and out of the video, but before I get into this, I want to tell you guys I appreciate it for the 2,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 10K. So yeah, just stay tuned and pay attention. Right here, I'm attaching clippers, like your little hair clips, and hair grippers. I got these from the beauty supply store if anybody was wondering. Now right here, what I'm about to do is take a brush or a comb and brush down all of your like baby hairs. Make sure you get that excess hair that comes from like your long hair. You don't want to bring that down. So right here, I'm starting off with my first guideline where the ear attaches to the head, just balding that part out. But I want to go gentle. I don't want to dig into my skin. So what I do is I take the foilers and I bald it out some more, like lightly, so that the skin doesn't get irritated. These are by Andes. I really love these because I love how they make the taper pop. So right here, you're going to see I'm going to attack that first guideline by going up a ½ an inch with my lever all the way open. Make sure that you're tugging on that skin. That's very important to make sure we get all those hairs. You're going to have to go in a few times, but this is what's going to start the fading process. So as you're attacking that guideline, it's very important to take some kind of brush to just brush the hairs down, because you want to make sure you get every hair possible to get those black spots out. Also, it's very important to make sure that you're only using the corner of the blade and not the entire blade itself. I feel like it's more precise, and I feel like you can get a better grip. So the goal is here to make sure that we completely attack that guideline. You want to make sure that we make this taper pop. It might be a little hard to see at first sometimes, but all you have to do is kind of play with your lever, open it and close it, but don't close it all the way. So I like to just play with it to make sure I get it out. So now I'm about to attack the bottom of that first guideline with my lever all the way closed. I had to give y'all a little smile real quick, but make sure that you're only using the corner of your blade, folks. Do not use the entire clipper. When you're doing this part, as you go higher in the guideline, you have to open it slowly. You don't want it closed. Look who decided to join us today. So for my beginners out there, like I said before, you're gonna have to open and close your lever as much as possible. That's what I preferably like to do. Every barber has their own technique, but this is the way that I like to go about mine. Make sure y'all taking that brush and brushing them hairs down, man. We can't forget about that. So to start this debulk process, you have to take a 1 guard with your lever all the way open. You want to go up a ½ an inch, and as you get closer to the ear, you have to make sure that you only use the corner of your blade. We're just debulking as much as possible so we can have that nice blend for this beautiful taper we're about to create. Don't keep that brush too far from you. You got to make sure that we're brushing these hairs down so we can get every little hair in place. So I'm still attacking it with that 1 guard, and what I want you to do is pay attention very closely to what I'm about to do. So right here, I knocked my second guideline out with my 0 guard, which is a 1/16. So the way that I do it is, for example, if I was using a 2 guard, I would take that 2 guard and bulk as much as I needed, and then to take that guideline out, I would go back with the 1 guard so that we could completely take that guideline out. You could also go in with the 1.5, but it really depends on how much you want to take down. If you guys need help with like the clipper guard sizes, they have them all on Google if you are kind of confused, but that's the way that I learned because I'm pretty much self-taught. And just like I stated before, sometimes you gotta play with that lever. So right here, I closed it halfway, and I just started attacking those little spots that I can't really get, and also tugging on the skin. You don't want to close it all the way because you don't want to take a lot of hair off. And it's very important to know if your lever is open or closed, because when it's closed, the more it takes. When it's open, the less it takes. So right here, I went back with my 1 guard to get those remaining black spots out as much as possible. We want to make sure we get this line blended. So right here, instead of a 2, I went in with a 1.5 guard to debulk. Usually I do use a 2, but today I decided to use a 1. I feel like this creates minimal scalp exposure, so that's why I like to use it. Preferably, it's your choice. You can go in with the 1.5 guard or a 2 guard, but you want to use a flick out motion. You don't really want to dig into the skin because then you'll create another guideline. Sheesh, I did a good job. So now I'm about to pretty much go on the other side because this side is blended out. We're going to speed this process up because it's the same exact steps for the next side and also the back. So it's the same thing, folks. The same steps that we take to do the sides are the same steps we're going to do for the back. But it gets a little tricky because you kind of can't see. So right here, I want to start that first guideline by balding it out with my babyless trimmers. Don't mind my hair, folks. I just had design and also I just had a bald fade, so bear with me. Right here, I'm going against the grain by going up because I don't want to agitate my skin. So now I'm taking my foiler and balding it out as much as possible, getting those remaining black spots. Same steps like before. I'm going in with my Fade King clippers with my blade all the way open and attacking that first guideline that we created. Make sure you're only going up a 1/2 inch. Now right here, what I'm doing is I close my lever and I'm trying to take out that first guideline that we created. Now I'm about to go in with my 1 guard to start my second guideline with the blade all the way open. Make sure you brush the hairs down as much as needed. Now I'm about to attack that guideline right there with the 1/16, which is your 0 guard. Make sure that the lever is open as well. Remember folks, the goal is to make sure that we obtain this blend so that we can create a beautiful taper that we want. So because I'm filming, I have to make sure that I have these both evenly blended out, so I had to flip the camera and also do the other side. So sometimes your guard doesn't always take the black spots out, so take your guard off and just attack it lightly by using the corner of your blade. And you want to make sure that you're doing this with the lever open. So now this is my most favorite part. I'm going to take my Gots to be glue, I believe it's called. This way we're laying all the hairs flat, getting them out the way, and then I go in with my shape up, lining the back of my head up. Make sure that you focus on cutting down and be careful with these trimmers in the back of your head because they can be very sharp. You're gonna see me brushing a lot because you want to make sure that all those hairs lay flat, because once you get in the shower, it's a wrap. That's when you really will start seeing like the extra hairs that you could have gotten. So you're just gonna repeat the same steps to the other side that you have to shape up. So now I'm going in with my 1 guard on my baby hairs and just knocking those extra hairs down. I don't really like to take this too low, so I preferably like to use the 1 guard with my lever on open. Now, depending on the length of your hair, I feel like using the 1 guard is pretty much good to getting close to the scalp, but not taking like a whole lot of hair down. And remember to go with the grain and not against the grain. So now I'm about to take the Gots to Be glue and spray my hairline down. Make sure we land all those hairs flat. What I like about the Gots to Be glue is once it dries a little bit, it leaves that ash line, like that white chalk line. Now to begin the lineup process, I start in the middle and go all the way across. You just want to lightly tap and go. The Gots to Be glue will really give it that nice look that we're going for. You also want to make sure that you're brushing your hair down too, to make sure we're getting those hairs out of the way. Now I'm going to start attacking that 90-degree angle, starting from the end of your eyebrow. We got to also make sure we get that vertical bar precise. My vertical bars are kind of light, but not in a bad way, so I just lightly go in. Now right here, just make sure you're repeating the same steps as you did to the other side. Now right here, I'm not against enhancements at all. I love them. I feel like it gives it that nice dark look. Even though my baby hairs are pretty much dark, you want to lightly go in. Do not do it heavy. Please, please do not. I can't tell you guys how many times I've seen people with a chalked on hairline. Like, the goal is to make this hairline look as natural as possible. Even though I don't really need it, I really do like how it enhances the hairline. Now for the vertical bars, I like to do it as well, but I don't like to go around the C cup around it. I feel like that's just too much for me. This spray you can get at any local beauty supply too. They're usually about $4.99, $5.99. I use black, but when my hair was dark brown, I was also using the darkest brown they had. I do have the actual airbrush, but since I'm out of town, I'm currently using the spray. So also, if you spray it on too heavy, which will happen at some point in time, just take a brush and just lightly tap at it, like just brush it across, so that way it kind of fades out. Okay, so what I like to do is use a concealer pencil, or they also have a barber pencil, which is pretty much the same color as me. So I like to go in with that first, and if that's just like too close to my skin, I'll go with the next color up, which is technically a concealer pencil. Basically, this is just adding the ash line effect to your hairline, which they have spray for that too, but I usually like to use the concealer. Now I know what y'all thinking, is she about to leave this line on her head? No. So this is what your trimmers are for. You're basically just going to take your trimmers and go back and just drag that ash line pretty much in a downwards position. This way you're blending in what I like to call the chalk line into the skin, so that it actually starts to look natural. So right here, I'm just taking my razor and I'm pulling the skin so I can make sure that I'm getting all those extra hairs that I missed. This is also something that a lot of people love because it just really creates that ash line for the taper. So these blades are actually my favorite. These are by Diane, or Diana's I believe. And the other brand that I like to use is called Persona. You can find it at any local Sally's or beauty supply store near you. Yeah, the worst part, I'm going in with my aftershave. I forgot what the name of it is called. I have it in like a little to-go bottle right now because, like I said before, I'm not at home. So when I get home, I'll show you guys what the name of that is, and I'll link it below. Alright y'all, so I'm not done just quite yet. But I'm taking the clips out so that I can actually let my hair loose so I can start the ponytail process that I like to give myself. Sometimes I wear it fluffed out, sometimes I wear it up. It really just depends on how my hair is looking, but right now it's definitely not in the state to be pretty much out and wild because it looks crazy. So I'm gonna go in with a water bottle. Y'all gotta kind of bear with me because I did not know how to use it, as you see. So I'm just taking this jam or whatever you want to call it. I'm just adding it to my hair so I can slip my hair back into a ponytail. So now I'm just gonna brush it back so I can start slicking it back and actually giving myself this ponytail I'm looking for. So as you guys can see, I have a double hairline. So what I like to do is I like to take the fibers that I have. This is black. So I just like to just cover that double lining that I have. Sometimes, I don't always do it, but today I just felt the need to do it. And remember folks, when we're using these enhancements, please make sure you only do a light coat because you don't want it to look heavy and just unnatural. So now I'm just putting my hair tie on and creating this little puff. And yes, for those wondering, I did take that chalk line out. I went back after I seen it because I wasn't looking at the back at the time. So yeah, man, that's about it, you know. I feel like I did a really good job on this haircut. I feel like I got a better glance of how I really do it by actually taking the time to watch this video. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If y'all want some more content, let me know. Haircuts, I'm in ATL right now, Trvllofficial. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thanks.